Hello, my name's Julie, and I'm from Julie Loses, and welcome to another installment of my video diary. If you've watched an earlier video of me, my voice may sound a little bit different. I am currently in my second week of being under the weather. I have upper respiratory infection right now, and I finally got the wherewithal to actually go in and see my doctor. I got sick a week ago last Sunday. I started feeling sick in my throat, and then early last week my throat was a mess. I felt okay on Wednesday and decided to go in and work out, but then by Thursday morning I was coughing and being fairly miserable. And so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday, which was Monday, were pretty hellish. My sleep has been not quality sleep, and I had been coughing a lot and just feeling generally miserable. This morning I went to the doctor. She said I have a very reactive airway. I think it comes from being kind of asthmatic as it is. I had parents who were smokers growing up, and I grew up in the Los Angeles area, so there was a lot of bad air, and I was very prone to bronchitis, and I had pneumonia at least once, and so my lungs can get aggravated kind of easily. So when I get something as simple as a cold, it can turn kind of dastardly for my lungs. So any little mucus that kind of goes down causes a very spastic cough. And this morning I was prescribed an albuterol inhaler, which is quite expensive, and some like a Mucinex, Robitussin type medication that has codeine in it for sleep. My sleep has been really poor. I've been trying to have NyQuil, which, it does deaden me a bit, but if I don't ride the sleep wave when it hits, I lose it, and it just makes me toss and turn awake all night. And most of the last 5 nights I've lacked good sleep, and I think I can tell, people around me can tell, and I just had it. I had to go to the doctor. So I used my inhaler earlier, and it does have me feeling a little bit better with my coughing. I'm only going to cough a little bit in this video, so I apologize in advance. I have one that I'm kind of been holding off, but I'm going to go do it right now. 1 second. Pardon me. So the coughing is more infrequent in the hours following my first albuterol inhaler, and I'm just trying to drink a lot of water. I also, she suggested a saline nose spray or neti pot, just to clear out some of the stuff going on with my head congestion. And I tried the saline spray, and I tested it to make sure it worked, and then I actually squeezed it twice into each of my nostrils, and I couldn't feel anything. I smelled, saline solution, but I never had a nasal spray before. I always thought it would be really obnoxious and, be like I was squirting into my eyes or something, but I really didn't feel it. So I'm not even sure that I did it right, but hopefully that'll help with some of that. And I'm eager to take the codeine medicine tonight so that I can get what I hope will be decent, needed, restful sleep. I am avoiding, it's not an elephant in the room because you can't see it right now, but for those following my Twitter account, you may know that I've been dealing with a craving. I've been feeling kind of ravenous for the last few days, been feeling really underfed, which is in contrast to the way I've actually been eating, which has been, I've been trying to get higher calories. I've been really focused on trying to get protein in from wherever I can, but I'm lacking some of my protein from sources like dairy, so I haven't been having things like Greek yogurt, and I've just been feeling hunger all the time. And Sunday night, it manifested in me eating 2 bowls of cereal at about midnight, between midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning, with almond milk, and it was about 480 calories worth of food. So, I mean, it was a sizable amount, but it definitely felt kind of bingey, but I didn't have much else in the house that I could really make at that hour. And then all day yesterday, I was fighting it. I was trying to get protein in. I made some egg whites and eggs in the morning with toast, and I had chicken for lunch with an apple, and pardon me, by dinner time, I was so sick. I was just on the couch. The only times I was getting up was to go to refill my water, which I've been dutifully trying to slam down as much as possible. I mean, if it's been helping, I haven't been feeling it, but I shudder to think what would be happening if I wasn't ingesting the water the way I have been. But in any case, yesterday I was really feeling like I needed a big meal at the end of the day, and asked my boyfriend to go pick up some russet potatoes on the way home, that I was going to make us some fillets and microwave up some baked potatoes, and some asparagus. And I served myself up well over 7 ounces of filet with baked potato, with some, Smart Balance, flaxseed based butter style spread, I guess, and some fat-free sour cream, which was the most dairy I've had in recent history. And then I had some asparagus with that. I couldn't get close to finishing anything on the plate. I was quite satisfied. But this morning I woke up just with that ravenous feeling again, feeling like, I was hungry, and I had a doctor's appointment that I had to get ready for. So I made the decision to not make myself breakfast, and it's just been on my mind. I've wanted a cheeseburger for a few days now. Something about a cheeseburger has looked good to me, and I spent a good hour in my car today after picking up my prescriptions at the grocery store, just trying to combat the craving. And I was trying to do that by what they call urge surfing. Now, urge surfing is a practice they teach to people who are in recovery, things like cigarette smoking and alcoholism. It's about learning to be comfortable when a craving hits, because a lot of times when we cave into our cravings, it's a matter of a way of making ourselves feel better, because we're so uncomfortable with the feelings that we have while we're experiencing a craving. And if they can teach you to be comfortable with the feelings you're having while you're having a craving, it tends to go away. The most cravings, they talk about it being a wave, how it starts small and it builds and builds and builds, and then finally it crests and comes down and rides into the beach, and kind of dissipates. And they talk about, if you can spend that time riding it, that with practice you could ride that craving wave out to when it dissipates. And I was trying to do that, and it's a mindfulness practice, and it talks about not focusing on the why, but focusing on the what. What am I feeling right at this moment? What are the sensations I'm feeling? What are the thoughts in my head? what is this sensory experience that I'm having that's making me so uncomfortable, and can I sit with it? And I spent some time doing that today as a sort of one of the last ditch efforts to try and to combat it. And it wasn't, I think when I was looking at some of the literature about it, they'd say it's a practice like meditation. You're not perfect when you start. That what they hope for in many cases is just delaying your need to go out and get a cigarette or have a drink or eat something that you don't want to. If you can meet that craving and delay it a little bit, maybe the next time you delay it a little bit longer, next time you delay it a little bit longer, and then eventually when you become well practiced, you can overcome the craving altogether. Well, it didn't work out for me today. And I think what's important for me to realize is this isn't just an emotional thing. One thing I figured out is that this happened when I was sick before. When I get sick, when I'm sick for more than a few days at a time, there becomes some sort of, it feels physical. I mean, it might not be physical, it might be emotional, but it certainly feels physical. The need for heavy, what I would call junky foods becomes overwhelming for me. And I don't know what to do about it, really. Today I could have gone to McDonald's. The grocery store is in the same parking lot with the McDonald's, and it would have been very easy for me to just pick up a Big Mac and go home and eat it. But I didn't want that. I didn't want the junk, the poison. I associate McDonald's with poison now, which is pretty good. I didn't want that. I wanted a good burger experience. And after about an hour or more, I mean, really, it's been days and days that I've been trying to work through this craving. But I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go and order a Five Guys burger and fries. I'm not going to get a soda because I don't want a soda. What I want is the food experience, and I did it. I had a Five Guys little cheeseburger with light mayo, lettuce, light mustard, light pickles. And when I say light, I don't mean like low-calorie versions. I mean just, easy on the mayo and things like that. But I said, I'm going to track it. I'm going to have it. It's going to be my lunch. And I'm just going to, when it happens, I'm going to do it. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to put it behind me. And I'm not going to associate any guilt feelings with it. So that's why I think it's important for me to record this video and talk about, how this urge surfing didn't do the trick for me this time, but I think the experience was valuable. I think the takeaway for me is that I do need to come up with, I don't even know. I know that when I get sick, I get weak with my food choices. I mean, that's clear. And it's not a temporary thing. It's not like I have a stomach ache one day and then the next day I want a cheeseburger. It's like when I'm spent a week being physically ill and my body is plagued by something in some way, my body starts, my brain, something in there is sending signals that I want really, really fatty foods that are unhealthy for me. And I don't know exactly where that comes from, but that's the case. And I need to learn to manage it. But I think that the core of it is that, well, let's say, they come up with like 80-20 rules, 90-10, whatever. But this is like 99% of the time, I'm fine. I don't have these cravings. I'm not feeling this. You know, this binging behavior I was having before was an aspect of my lifestyle. But now this is an aspect of my lifestyle. This is an aspect of a physical, biological issue going on within me that's causing this thing that's not going to happen all the time. Because I had a cheeseburger today doesn't mean that I'm going to have a cheeseburger tomorrow, and doesn't mean in 2 weeks' time I'm going to be eating Ben & Jerry's every night. This means that I responded to a craving that I was having biologically. Am I guilty about it? I would be lying if I said absolutely not. But I'm trying really hard to not feel guilt about it, because if I associate it with victim type emotions or, negative emotions, then I'm giving that food more power than it deserves, because I'm sick. I'm not going to be sick all the time. In fact, I haven't been sick in months, and this year has been the most healthy year I've had by far in many, many years, for many, many months. So I'm not going to let 1 week out of, the year so far ruin my thoughts about how strong I am. So I had a burger, whatever. In fact, I was coming home from the place, and I saw a little dog running on the side of the road. And it was a pretty busy street. And it was a little dog. It looked like Toto or something. I could see it didn't have a collar on, and I was driving the opposite direction from the side of the street it was on. But I was in other times, I would have been more concerned about getting home to eat my food right away. But I decided, no, I'm going to actually use this food. I'm going to try to get this dog. I want to get it off the street. I want to get it to some safety. If it does have a collar on, find its owner. If not, figure out how to get it back to its owner. So I pulled forward a little bit, I swerved around, and I came back and went looking for the dog with a French fry in my hand to lure it. Because if there's one thing I know, it's the dogs love French fries. I didn't find the dog, unfortunately. What I'm hoping is that maybe it had just escaped its owner for a very brief amount of time and it had gone back in the time it took me to turn around. But I went driving around and I got out of my car and I went running around the block looking for it, and calling for it. And the food was just an entity that was there. I mean, it wasn't, I didn't associate any needy behavior with it. I just said, I want a cheeseburger and fries. I'm going to order a cheeseburger and fries. And I had my cheeseburger and fries, and I had it with a glass of water, and I was fine. I didn't need the soda. When I was eating it, I was enjoying my taste buds have been all jacked up, really jacked up. I made filet mignon last night and a baked potato, and I couldn't taste anything. I mean, I could tell that it was filet, or I could tell that it was steak and potato, but there was none of that flavor association there. The burger did have some flavor in it. If there's one thing that, really rich, fatty, cooked meals can do, it's it gets through to your sick taste buds. So that happened. That's a thing. Let's talk about the good stuff, though. Good stuff is that as of this morning, as usually happens when I go to the doctor, I start feeling a little bit better. So I'm really hoping to get a good night's sleep tonight and that this cough goes away. I'm a little worried about the cough. My coughs tend to linger for a while, and I really worry about it disrupting my program and my, not my weight loss, but more like my physical conditioning. I'm concerned about that. So I'm really trying to watch it carefully and make sure that I treat it appropriately. The second thing I'll talk about that's going really well is weight loss. I'm still losing weight, even though I'm sick, even though I haven't been able to work out. And I know that I'm probably losing some lean mass in this, but I'm down like 5.2 pounds from 2 weeks ago today. In lieu of weighing myself at the Pro Club these last 2 Tuesdays, including today, I weigh myself on my home scale, which from previous experience is within zero point 0.2 pounds of the scale at the Pro Club, and also tends to be below the scale by that amount at the Pro Club. So I've been weighing myself. I weighed myself in last week, and I was 220.4, so that was down 2 pounds. And then today I weighed myself in, and I was 217.2, which is like 3.2 pounds. So that's 5.2 pounds lost, which is a little bit above average. But if there's one, if that's the one win I can take away from this, I'll take a numerical decrease in my weight. I know that I'm inclined to have some balancing out happen once I start working out again. Totally fine with that. I really don't want to feel the way I'm feeling right now. I really want to feel better, and I want to feel stronger. So I don't mind if that means a few more pounds on the scale when I start working my muscles again. But that is going well. That's not if I'm talking solely about wanting to hit that 199 number at the end of my 2020 Lifestyles program, then I'm still on my way to do that. I mean, I'm within 18 pounds of that. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's like, that I can do that. That's like 2 months, and I still have about 3 months left on the program. So that's very encouraging. Not much else is going really superbly at the moment, so I'm going to use that as my big win. This water, I really want to drink it right now, so I'm just going to drink it. When I had Five Guys, I was ordering, they have this, usually when I would go to fast food, getting a large soda like a Dr. Pepper or something was one of my favorite parts about it. Soda was just something that called to me so much. But this time I just, I didn't want any part of the soda. I wasn't looking for all the sugar in the drink. Water is like my saving grace. I can't even drink tea right now. I mean, if it tells you how sick I am, I can't even enjoy my tea because I can't taste it. And I'm not about to have any caffeine to dehydrate myself any more than I already am. Like, I'm just like, water is my oasis right now, and it's one of the few pleasurable things I have right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this really sad, really down video log. I felt it important to log it because I am having a challenging moment, and I think it's important to log one's challenges along the journey as well as one's successes for posterity. I think all in all, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I'm moderately bummed that I caved into this craving I've been having, but it's water under the bridge now, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I really enjoyed it. I tracked everything. I went on their website. I looked up all the calories. I figured out all the calories on each of the individual add-ons for the burger, and I logged it all in my 2020 tracker. So I know that I did 1,200 calories of damage at lunchtime, but it's not a huge deal. I'm going to go back to the way I've been eating, and now that craving is to rest. If that craving pops up again, I know that there are emotional reasons to it. So, and then I will call my nutritionist if I have more cravings in that vein, because that means that something else is going on. But this is just one of those, I gotta do what feels good for me in this moment. And I took time, I did some work, and it led me to that ending. And so that's what it is. Oh well. Yeah, in any case, I hope that the next time that I'm checking in with you, I'm feeling 100 times better. I'm sure I will. And I hope all of you are having in very good health right now and staying above the weather and keeping on track as well as you can as well. So until next time, take care.